the Christian hymn that led to the end of the slave trade. What if I told you that one of the most powerful songs ever written wasn't just a hymn sung in churches, but a weapon, a melody of mercy that pierced through the horrors of human cruelty and helped bring an end to the transatlantic slave trade? The transatlantic slave trade was one of the darkest chapters in human history. Over 12 million Africans were forcefully taken from their homeland, packed like cargo, abused, and sold into slavery across the Americas and Europe. But in the heart of this darkness came an unexpected sound, a sound of repentance, a hymn, a prayer. The man behind the song, John Newton, was once a captain of slave ships, a man who trafficked human lives and profited from their pain. But one night, during a violent storm at sea, he cried out to God, not as a saint, but as a sinner afraid to die. And that storm changed everything. He survived, and that brush with death awakened something deep within him. He began reading the Bible, and over time, the hardened slave trader became a humble preacher. It would take years, but eventually, John Newton would denounce the trade he once profited from, calling it, in his words, a business at which my heart now shudders. The hymn is born. In 1772, Newton sat down to write a hymn for his New Year's Day sermon. What poured from his heart was not just poetry, but a confession, a message of hope and transformation. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. He wasn't writing about someone else. That wretch was him. From song to social change, John Newton became a mentor to a young British MP named William Wilberforce, who would later become the political face of the Abolition movement in England. Newton's testimony in his hymn, Amazing Grace, helped Wilberforce and others humanize the enslaved and expose the evil of the trade. In 1807, the British Parliament voted to abolish the slave trade, and just months later, John Newton passed away. The legacy of him, Amazing Grace, has since traveled through time, sung by civil rights leaders, mourners, soldiers, and believers around the world. It's a song born from guilt, transformed by grace, and used by God to stir the conscience of a generation. It didn't end slavery on its own, but it gave voice to the truth that every human is precious, redeemable, and made in the image of God. So next time you hear that familiar melody, remember, it's more than a song. It's a story of redemption, a story of repentance, a story that helped end one of humanity's greatest evils. All because one man dared to say, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Amazing Grace, written by a former slave trader, sung by the world. If you were moved by this story, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories of faith, history, and redemption.